Hey, what is going on, guys? It is me, Brothgar, and today I am doing a vlog. Mostly because my last video, when I went to upload it, decided to be like, you know what? No, I'm all corrupt. No video for you today. Is that nice? So, at any rate, I am creating a video. Now, this video is kind of spurred up by a Twitter. I'm new to Twitter, and I was following PewDiePie, and PewDiePie was like, people comment all the time, probably to him, and they say, you know what? You're a gameplay YouTuber, alright? All you do is play games all day. And he's like, no, I edit videos all day. And the true fact is, yes, that is one of the realities here on YouTube of what it means to be a gameplay creator. I should say, you spend more time really editing the video than you do playing any of the games. True fact here, when it comes to creating a, let's say, my latest video that you're going to see tomorrow is a Grid 2 video of a finale of one of the seasons 3. Maybe not. No, it's like the first one, actually. It's the first episode of season 4. Boom. Right? Memory's serving. It's dishing up some stuff. I am working a ton lately. Alright, small tangent here. I am actually just in overtime drive, working 5-6 days a week, overtime every day. I gotta tell you what, I am kind of beat here, and that's kind of why some of my videos are uploaded later in the day, because I am just barely making it past. Mostly because when it comes down to making a YouTube channel that is daily and you do lots of editing and whatnot, it is very time consuming. You're talking about 20 hours or so per week to manage the channel I got. So people like PewDiePie who do this every day and dealing with a lot of people trying to contact him for professional stuff, plus trying to come out with 2 videos a day. I suppose that guy probably works 50-60 hours a week alone at that content. I personally don't know, but don't ever think, if you're going to be starting a daily YouTube gaming channel, that it is just like, you know, record, upload. Well, maybe it is. Maybe you have a really simple channel that just allows you to record and you just pump the audio in and bada bing, bada boom, you upload the funnest parts you have and don't really worry about editing. Or maybe you edit later here in like YouTube or something like that. There are different ways of creating video content faster. However, when it comes to that Grid 2, see that? We made a full fun circle, is that it takes me about 40 minutes to create 20 minutes of that Grid 2 footage, and that's because I've already created a whole bunch of those and I have templates and stuff made. It does take a lot of time, so when you think about that, it actually, you know, I spent more time editing that video than I did like playing it. So that is a very real number, and that can be anywhere from, let's say, 20, I would say anywhere, it probably equals the amount of time you've put into recording it at its minimum. And then the maximum is probably about 4 to 5 times that. There are times when things are more complicated. A lot of people have said, I wouldn't say a lot of people. People have said that, you know, maybe you should just upload shorter videos and then do longer videos as your channel gets more popular, with the mindset that, you know what, they're going to be a little bit simpler. The actual reality here, though, is that it's the amount of editing that goes into a video that makes it more complicated. And shorter videos have more cuts, which means more attention into where we need to cut the video in order to keep it entertaining for a really prime 3 minutes, as opposed to just having a very good like performance on the end and then not having to cut as much because your performance is better. So I gotta admit, shorter videos sometimes take a whole lot longer. That's where I kind of say, you know, a 3-minute video might actually take an hour and a half to edit. It all just kind of depends at the end of the day. The more jump cuts, the more things you see, like the text and stuff like that, all do take more time. Those stuff to kind of note if you're looking to, I don't know, do your video gaming channel, because I know a lot of people here do also do kind of upload stuff to their own channels. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there, that, you know, if you do look to kind of get into this stuff, that you are going to be doing lots of editing. So yes, we've now talked about that quite enough. All right, so let's talk about some gear that I end up using here on the channel. Obviously, I have a very powerful PC with lots of RAM, a very good CPU that I've overclocked myself. It's Intel 250K overclocked to 4.2 on an MSI. I believe it's an MSI. Maybe it's a gigabyte. Motherboard, I really don't know the numbers for that one because I don't have it memorized, and it doesn't really matter. It's because it's a pretty decent motherboard that allows you to overclock. The prime component, though, is my, you know, my AMD. I suppose it's not. Is it AMD now? Or is it ATI? Nope, it's still AMD. AMD is after ATI. I had an ATI 5800 that I bought off of eBay for like 150 bucks, which I used for a good amount of time, and then I actually sold it back for about the same amount. So I bought it used and I sold it used. Actually, I bought it new and then sold it used for right around the same price. Aha! And that's when I upgraded to the 7950, which is just a beast of a card, which allows me to record at such a high resolution, at such a good frame rate. Ultimately, though, that is all backed up by other stuff, like a giant other 2TB hard drive I picked up in accessory to the 2TB external I have. As far as the webcam goes, people wonder, because I don't really use it that much because I don't do live streaming. I have a Logitech C615. It has given me a fair bit of trouble. As far as the camera goes that I'm actually using like right now, and I use for all of my, just about all my videos, I have a Canon 650D, also known as the Rebel T4i, with a prime lens on it, which is a 50mm 1.8, which the lens itself cost around $100, and then I think the body is another $600, and then when you throw in the other lens that came with the thing, ultimately it's like $1,000. But obviously I did not buy that expensive camera here for just YouTube. Actually, I didn't even think of YouTube at the time that I bought it. Ultimately, I bought it for taking pictures, like this one, which is very nice, or this one as well, which is nice. And not to mention, I just got back from a fun thing here last Friday of some friends getting engaged, where I used this camera once again to capture beautiful memories. And it just turns out that this camera actually works pretty well for what I need to do here. It does also have limitations, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend going out there and dropping like $1,000 on this specific camera just to do YouTube videos. Ultimately, it does a good job for video in general, but there's a whole Canon lineup, and not to mention, I would also kind of recommend just camcorders in general, or just kind of going with the webcam thing and just doing some research there, because this is kind of like over and above what you really need to do, although it does create a nice quality. But again, all that quality is crammed into a little box, with the rest of it kind of being the main focus. As far as the audio goes, I use a Blue Yeti microphone. Boom, USB plug-in. It allows you to monitor the headset, so even though these headsets are essentially dampened to my voice externally, the mic now feeds back in, and it does it without delay, so it's not awkward. That is a really cool feature, not to mention that it just sounds very good, although it does pick up a lot of ambient noise. Like if I just tap the pop filter I have on it, yeah, see, just barely tap it. Tap the desk, see? So there's drop my box is a lot of crazy things that goes on with that. That is some of the gear I use here on this channel to give you such high quality videos. So thanks for the interest there, and I hope you found some of that useful. Ultimately, that's about all I got for this. At any rate, yes, I am terribly busy, so my YouTube channel is suffering a little bit from that. You probably have noticed that I missed a day here on 9/11, and I'm like, you know, that's okay, right? And then the next day was like uploaded corrupt video, so it's like, oh, can't go 2 days without having a video. Ultimately, though, I'm doing my best here to keep up with YouTube without killing myself, so that I don't, you know, drain myself before I go to work in the next day, or exclude myself from a lot of real life cool things, like, you know, seeing your friends get engaged and whatnot. Ultimately, though, we are trying to keep that daily upload video, so keep it tuned here on Game With Me, Brothgar. Tomorrow I will hopefully be uploading some sweet grid footage. Thanks for watching. I'm Brothgar again, even though I mentioned it many times before, and have a great day.